verify it just to make sure, but I'm pretty sure that's exactly what we're showing you now.
In other words, if there weren't any solar, the district would have had to pay $65,000 more.
Correct.
What is, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to remind me, because I don't remember. SunPower guaranteed X number of amount of production. What was that number?
That was 80% of the current usage going back to, was it 2010? It was a 3-year average, I think, 2008, 9, 10.
Whatever. Have they met that production goal?
We've overproduced, we've exceeded the 80% value at this point. Right now, we're still running approximately 92% of design.
Okay, but after 20 years, you're gonna lose 30% of your production, almost.
That's not what some claims.
Yeah, SunPower's saying that they'll meet those projections. Now, I believe it decreases on a scale. I don't have that
Yeah, I know.
right on top.
It depends, but.
As the panels become older, they are anticipated to produce less, and I believe their agreement is that goes down slightly towards the 20 years.
Okay.
But they're still guaranteeing the 80% at the end of the 20-year lifespan.
No, that's not what you just said.
I think that as it comes down, that is taken into account on the performance guarantee portion of it. I can definitely get that. We can either
Okay,
put that on ahead of time or.
Have you lost any of the panels that you know of, any of the output of the panels? I'm not saying that right. You just talked a minute ago about losing the whole string. Have you lost the whole string that you know of any of the panels?
Or
Any
At any
site?
point in time?
if you have a shadow goes across, you'll lose production on that string.
No, I don't mean, I don't.
You're saying damage?
Have you had equipment failure is what I'm asking.
We have had some vandalism damage. If you look out, actually, if you look at, there's one at Dent that is damaged. It's still producing, but it's probably at a degraded level. If you look at, there's one out here that's concave and needs to be replaced.
Okay.
They'll still produce unless you have a total break of that panel. If a truck hits it,
Well, if one panel shorts out, you're gonna lose whatever is on that string.
everything on that string, and I believe there was 6 panels per string.
Okay. So, okay. So you don't know of any string of panels that you've lost district-wide? I'm curious about failure rate.
At this point, I'm not aware of any failure rates. We used to be getting all the calls from SunPower. We've turned that over to maintenance operations, so they're getting all the calls right now. As the panels were, or as the systems were online longer, we did have some initial vandalism that we seen. SunPower came out and
Vandalism,
replaced
I'm not
those.
worried about. I'm worried about SunPower's production. Vandalism, we have no control over, but SunPower's equipment failure, we do have control over.
I am unaware of any equipment failures in the last year that would have caused the system to go down.
Can you,
Go ahead.
can you check and let us know next time?
Absolutely.
Because it's hard
Thank
for
you.
me to believe that there wouldn't be something.
Yeah, I know.
I know
There's
there's
many panels
vandalism
that are up there.
and, you know, trucks that have hit the corners of buildings and.
That's gonna happen. You can't do anything about it.
We haven't had
We're just
any
talking about
in the last
just
quarter.
failure.
Failure
From
on
outside
SunPower's
vandalism.
part, not vandalism or anything
Yeah,
else.
Well,
Then
it's
I
hard
have
for me
the
to
following
believe that
question.
there's
Since all the data comes from SunPower, are they disclosing to the district if there are any equipment failures? You might not know because they haven't told you. I mean, I'm not trying to be suspicious, but since we do not receive the data directly here, it comes filtered in a way from them.
In a way, it is filtered. The data's live, so if we go and you look at the live data, you'll see if there's a reduction on that site. Or SunPower is actually motivated to contact us if we have systems that are not operating. And the reason is because they have to pay for the guarantee if they don't hit production. So if they have and this is how it used to be before we turned it over to M&O. If they had a question, they would call us and we'd go out and then we'd look to see if there was any physical damage to that. If there was no physical damage, then SunPower would dispatch their maintenance people to come out and see if there's an equipment failure. And I believe that's still in process, but MNO's doing that now.
So, is the district monitoring that live production? mean,
I could
if
say
so,
that we
like,
don't,
who
on
does?
Mdusd team, monitor that production on
I
a
mean-
daily basis.
Cause if you don't look at that thing for a month, something could be, you have a lot of stuff
Yeah,
there.
you gotta rely on SunPower to do some of it, cause that's manpower.
I can definitely ask my red MNO if somebody's
No,
looking at it.
I'm not asking you guys to put a full-time person on that.
Right. I agree with it, should be looked
It
at.
seems like, someone would sort of just look at it every once in a while. Cause, either this or this, right?
We have one person on staff that loves this stuff as much as Mark, and he will go on there and look at it, but he doesn't do it because he's required to. He just, it's part of his.
Curiosity.
I'll come down there and do it for you, then. How's that?
It's actually on live. You can look at actual live data online.
I'm gonna make it my mission in life.
Can you send us a link or something?
I think we have, but yes, I'd have to resend it.
That would be great. That could be a while.
But the spreadsheet's very big. If you download the entire spreadsheet, it's
Is there a
every
graphic
se-
that
every-
shows,
There's no graphics on, it's raw
It's just
data.
raw data.
It's all raw data.
Numbers.
Go for it, Maya.
Oh, my
Jim,
God.
what was the last quarter before the 52,733?
65,644.
Thank you.
Mechanical HVAC, just a quick snapshot of the current schedule. Phase 1 certification process, we are experiencing a slowdown at DSA right now in the closeout of projects. I think they're taking longer than they should. We've sent letters to them. They said, we'll close them when we get to it. The risk to the district that is, if we don't stay on top of DSA, there's always the fact that they can charge us to close the project without certification, then there's a $500 fee to reopen and certify it. But as long as we're staying in contact with them, we've minimized that risk. It's fully in their court. Packages that we're submitting are full packages. DSA's accepted them. They just have to go through their process to do their internal checks. This is occurring across the board on all of our projects, so very slow process. Phase 2,
Just to, maybe I can explain probably why this is happening right now, because a lot of projects were submitted before the end of the last year, because of the new code regulations and changes. So they were swamped suddenly in November and December with projects, and they cannot dig themselves out.
DSA is telling us that their new process, what they call it, the DSA box, is going to simplify the closeout process and decrease the amount of time necessary for closeout. We haven't seen that yet. So it's all, DSA's gone to a fully automated process where everything's uploaded electronically. They have the data ahead of time instead of waiting till the end of the project and getting all the data. They're receiving all of these reports as the project goes along. Supposedly that's going to simplify the process.
Are they gonna reduce the fees they charge us because they simplified things?
The fees actually went up.
Ah, gee, why am I not surprised?
The fees actually, our project fees actually went up as of June of last year. Phase 2, again, the same process, the work's complete, we're waiting for certification on those packages. Phase 3, we have DSA approval, we're doing the final portions of the preliminary service agreement, and I expect this to go to the board at the next board meeting. When we see the group 1, group 2, one more thing about DSA is DSA last year said we cannot submit packages as a group. So we have to send in individual sites for everything we're doing. So not only does that increase the amount of paperwork, but it increases the fees because you used to be able to reduce your fees by the larger the package. As you hit a certain threshold, your fees were reduced. Because they're separating them now, the cost of our packages actually went up because our packages are all below the threshold.